ask match committee and see who can play and who can't play on the lock, or did you? Give any hints for us as to who's available and who isn't?
I probably can't give names away, but there's a few available, a few not again, but that's been a bit of a trend of our season, and we back ourselves to be a resilient group, so guys will come in and fill roles and play the best they can, but we're pretty confident with the team we can put out there each week still.
So can Connor Rosie play after the week he's had and the month he's had as well?
I can't confirm that at the moment. I think match committee's happening this afternoon, so there's a few guys that were getting managed a little bit this week. We had an extra few days after a Thursday game to do that, so there's a few guys that perhaps didn't do much today that will play, so that'll get sorted out this afternoon.
Do you also have a handle on when you're going to play and where you're going to play?
At the moment we're planning still for Marvel Saturday night, so like the last 18 months everything's been moved around last minute, so if that does happen we'll adapt, but at the moment we're planning play St Kilda Saturday night at Marvel. Whatever happens between then we'll adjust to, but I think you can only really plan to what you know at this stage, so that's what we've got.
Storyline against Melbourne was too much left to too few, in particular you and Travis in the midfield. How can you change that up to get more from other players so that it's not all put on your shoulders?
Yeah, I think we can all still do more. Our ball use going forward is still a little bit of a problem at times. We knew what sort of weapons that Melbourne had, and it was their interceptability and taking the ball off us in that situation, and we just weren't good enough to adapt to that. So there's little tweaks to be adjusted, but I think the most positive thing is it's not the personnel we've got out there. We got full trust in the team that we put out on the park each week. It's just executing it.
Do you need two ruckmen this week for Marshall and Ryder rather than just have Scott and a pinch hitter from the forward line or defence?
Yeah, I think that'll be a discussion this afternoon. We had Aaliyah coming and playing as that secondary role when his opponent went into the ruck, and it probably threw us out a little bit, so I definitely think that'll be a discussion this afternoon.
Do you feel like you're batting as deep in the midfield as Melbourne, Geelong, Western Bulldogs? There's been a little bit of external talk around just the depth in the midfield.
I think we've got a lot of trust in the guys in there at the moment. Obviously injuries cut back a few guys that are our support players in there. Your Robbie Grays, your Connor Rosie, Zach Butters, who come through there to I guess provide that spark a couple of times a quarter. So in saying that, we've missed those guys, but I think our sort of mainstays in myself, Boki, Willem Drew, we've got a couple of young wingers. I think our depth's really there.
We've spoken about your form so much, Ollie. This stage of the year, how is the body going forward?
Yeah, no, I think today was the best I've felt since I had a bit of an incident early in the year with my knee, which is ongoing, but since then I think it's the best I've felt. So it helps having such a long break after a Thursday game. So I guess the downside of having a 5-day break is on the other end of it, you get so long off. So coming off that, and we had a few days off, which gave us a lot, gave us the ability to go home. So a lot of the guys got back to their home states, which were open. And just as much as anything, a mental refresher has helped.
So I know you touched on it before, but the prospect of being told to pack your bags immediately and saying to Queensland, how does that sit with the group? We've done it before, but is it something that's easy to do? Or?
Yeah, I think it's easy for us. From the very first time this all started, Ken made the point that we're going to be fluid, we're going to be open to everything and adjust the situation, and we have done that, and we're still open to that. We want to do anything we can to keep the season running, to give ourselves the best opportunity having a crack at it in September. So if that call does come, we'll be more than happy to make the move.
Have you been told about if you have to do any protocols on the way back from Victoria, like testing, isolation, anything like that?
Nah, not as of yet. I think the situation's still moving so much that they just want to get the game locked in for Marvel Saturday night, and then whatever we have to do for, I guess, SA Health, we're happy to do.
Form-wise, it isn't as great as it was at the start of the season. So how do you get that back up to a level which puts you into, measured up against the top 4 sides again?
Yeah, no, definitely we agree, particularly against those good sides. We're having lapses in games where we're getting tipped over and teams are running over us. So I think it's still a technical thing of us not executing throughout a game. So I definitely think we've got the cattle to get it done. It's just about that execution. So doing an incredible amount of work of game education and game craft to learn where we're going wrong. And I think we've just got to embrace that we've got to get better, and there's another 6 weeks left in the regular season to improve. And the team that gets the most improvement is going to be the one doing the best. So we want to try to do that.
So where's that change, Ollie? Because at the start of the season we saw a team that was being lauded for transition from defence to attack, working in open space and doing it better than anyone else, and now that's not happening now. So where's that change?
I think in a couple of aspects, teams obviously figure you out after you've played a lot more games. They've got a lot more vision of you to plan against you, I guess. And the other thing is, I think we are still missing a few pieces. Orazio, Robbie, a lot of really important forward pieces that create that ball movement and create those options throughout the corridor and centre of the ground. So we've just got to, I guess, knuckle down and get through until those guys are ready to come back to bring their best parts of their game to our footy club.
So you don't look at going back to, I guess, the 2020 game plan to an extent, kind of territory yet, looking at that?
Yeah, possibly. I think in times throughout games we've made that call to go a bit more along the boundary and I guess safe to contest, but I know Ken doesn't like that game style. He likes taking it on and trying to hit the corridor, so I think it's just a game-to-game change we'll make.
How much did Zach Udders do today?
I think it was inside, but look, I think it's a bit more positive than it first was. I don't think he'll be out for a month. It'll be much less than that. I think so.
Good to see Robbie as well on the track.
Yeah, Robbie was running today for the first time, as well as Orazio. So Robbie's right on track to be 3-4 weeks away from playing. Raz had a bit of a setback from his surgery, and I think they're on top of that. So he's back running, and I dare say he'll be on the same timeline.
How'd you find dealing with the tag on Thursday night? It's normally Travis that gets that honour. How did you go dealing with that?
Yeah, no, I didn't find it too bad, and I was actually a little bit, I guess, thankful that I got it, because Boki usually takes it all the time, so it was good to see him run around unopposed. But no, it wasn't too bad. We try to help each other out as much as we can, getting body on and freeing each other up. So we're always there to help each other out with it.
Is that a natural progression now that you're getting the amount of football that you are? Or is that something you'll talk to Trav about, or something you're going to have to develop in your game to deal with that more frequently? Yeah,
possibly. I guess the good thing of having Trav in there is we're going to share it. That probably won't go to both of us at one time, so we will share it, and we'll share ways to try beat it and work together in that.
We're all kind of riding St Kilda off a couple of weeks ago, seemed to turn their season around. Does that give you, I guess, motivation, hope that things can change pretty quickly?
I don't think we're in any way a doom mindset at this stage. We're fifth on the ladder, and we're well and truly in the hunt for a top 4 finish. So I don't think we've got to turn things around so much. Yes, we have sort of been off our game against those top 4 sides, but all in all, we've still won 11 games this year. So we think we've got a bit of momentum still for the last 6 games. As you said, this is a massive game for us. St Kilda are sort of the form side of the comp at the moment, and getting some really good wins. So it's going to be a big challenge on their home deck.
Where's their midfield group sit at the moment?
They're up and about. They've brought Luke Dunstan in, who's really been their best player over the last month. Obviously, Steele as their captain's a big barometer for them, and a number of other good players, including their ruckman, or their centre bounce ruckman in Paddy, who we know pretty well. So they're really damaging midfield, and we've got to be on our game to keep them in the contest.